Fellow disciples, last week the Centers for Disease Control issued updated recommendations regarding the COVID pandemic. Notably, they shared new studies that demonstrate the COVID vaccines are incredibly effective, and fully vaccinated individuals no longer need to mask or physically distance except in particular circumstances. This is exciting news. It is an affirmation of so much research and work for years that allowed teams to quickly develop vaccines for this specific virus. These results mean that we are approaching a time when we can do so many things that we have not done for the past 15 months. Here's the hard part, though. The pandemic isn't over yet. As of last Friday, 37% of people in the United States were fully vaccinated. Now, those numbers will continue to increase, but it will be several weeks before a majority of the country is fully vaccinated, and even longer before we reach widespread immunity. And some people, including those with complicated medical situations and all children younger than 12, cannot yet safely receive the vaccine. So what do we as the church do? I imagine that pastors and leaders in congregations were scrambling Friday and Saturday, trying to figure out what to do along with everyone else. Lots of people heard this long-awaited announcement as, "It's over!" So many of us are excited to put the masks away, gather with friends, eat with whomever we want, and share our love with handshakes and hugs. Then again, so many of us are not fully vaccinated yet. As your regional minister, I have no interest in writing a policy for your congregation to follow. I am encouraged by how our congregations have worked to navigate the challenges of the past year, and I continue to trust you in making good decisions for your community. However, I am concerned that the emotional fatigue built up over the past 15 months might prevent us from being the church we need to be and the church God needs us to be during this transition time. It is abundantly clear that the new CDC guidelines threaten to create sharp disagreements in many of our congregations. Our families and communities show a wide range of contradictory responses. There are some who believe the safety precautions and mitigation measures need to continue because they're working. There are some who believe that any such measures, like wearing masks, should be voluntary. These divergent opinions are not easy to reconcile. The temptation will be to win the argument. There's so much of that in our culture today. In contrast to the cutthroat attitudes that surround us, that argue my way or no way, we need to model the one body, many parts teaching of the Bible. We cannot give in to the temptation to fight for our way and fight for our side. If we do, we fail to be the church our communities need. If we fight, we will push away the very people who need to grieve and heal from the losses and hardships of this pandemic. If we fight, we'll get in the way of doing the ministry that God needs us to experience and to offer others now. The motivations that have shaped our ministry over the past 15 months should continue to guide us during the transition period ahead. For the past year, we have questioned how to connect and worship together if not gathered in the same room. And we have endeavored to include everyone we can, using a variety of technology, media, and approaches. So many ministers and congregations have gone above and beyond to not let anything prevent these connections. Don't stop now. Don't just open the doors and say to yourself, if they come, they'll come, and let the chips fall where they may. Continue to go above and beyond. Continue to go above and beyond to invite and connect people with God through your ministry. Find ways to invite people to participate safely and comfortably in person, and find ways to invite participation by those who cannot or should not gather in person. Talk to people and find out where their comfort zones are and where their anxieties are. care for one another, and find meaningful ways to be in ministry together, in the same space or multiple spaces, with masks or without or some combination, whatever. Honor the circumstances of those with young children who cannot be vaccinated yet. Figure out the best practices in your congregation to involve them safely. Remember, there are some immunocompromised people for whom the vaccine may not be fully effective. Figure out the best practices in your congregation to involve them safely. Remember, there are some who cannot physically join you, but who want to be active in your ministry. Figure out the best ways to continue to involve them and invite their participation. Remember that the past 15 months have been traumatic, and figure out the best way to create sacred space in which we all can grieve, name our losses, confess our mistakes, seek forgiveness and healing, and hopefully find some peace after this season filled with so much turmoil, anxiety, and fear. And remember that the past 15 months have not been spinning our wheels or waiting for normal to return. You have done a lot of good ministry in Jesus' name, and some of it should be vital ministry for months and years to come. With God's help, we've all been encouraged these past months to focus on ministry that matters, rather than simply doing what we've always done. In short, here is my hope for us as part of Christ's church. Talk to one another. Listen to one another. Talk to God. Listen to God. And remember the promise of Jesus that we have lived and will continue to live. I am with you always. May God bless our efforts, and may our efforts bless others in Jesus' name.